Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. Why did demanding an open relationship on my terms, complete freedom for me, complete faithfulness for him, result in divorce papers served at my sister's wedding reception in front of 200 guests? I thought framing my desire to see other men as personal growth and empowerment would force my husband to accept my choices, but his calm refusal and silent departure triggered something I never anticipated. By the time the process server found me at the reception with a bouquet in one hand and champagne in the other, he had already dismantled my entire life with legal precision I didn't know existed. The bedroom was dark, except for the blue glow from Nathan's phone. He was scrolling through something when I sat down on the edge of the bed. I told him we needed to talk. He put the phone down and looked at me. He asked if everything was okay. I said everything was fine, but I had been thinking about our relationship. He sat up straighter. He asked what I meant. I told him I had been doing a lot of reading about relationship structures. I said I thought we should explore opening our marriage. He stared at me. He asked what that meant exactly. I explained that I wanted the freedom to see other people while maintaining our marriage and family. He was quiet for a long time. Then he asked if I wanted him to see other people too. I hesitated. I said I thought it would be better if he stayed focused on our family. I said Mira needed stability and having both of us dating would be confusing for her. Nathan's face changed. He asked if I was serious. I said I had never been more serious. He asked if I understood what I was asking for. I said I was asking for autonomy. He said I was asking for permission to cheat while expecting him to remain faithful. I told him that was a very negative way to frame it. I said this was about personal growth. I said I felt like I never had a chance to fully explore who I was before we got married. We had been together since college. I was 22 when we met. I was 30 now. I said I needed to know there was more to life than the same routine with the same person. Nathan asked if I was unhappy with him. I said it was not about him. He said it sounded like it was entirely about him. I said he was making this about his ego. He said I was asking him to accept infidelity. I said I was asking him to evolve. He asked if there was someone specific I wanted to see. I said no. It was not technically a lie. I had not done anything with Des yet, but I'd been thinking about him. I'd been thinking about him a lot. Nathan said he would not agree to this. I asked why not. He said because marriage was a commitment between two people, and he did not agree to changing the terms unilaterally. I said nothing was unilateral about it. I was discussing it with him right now. He said discussing was not the same as asking permission. I said I was not asking permission. I was informing him of what I needed. He stood up. He said he needed to think. I asked how long he needed. He said he did not know. I said I could not wait forever. He asked what that meant. I said it meant I was going to move forward with or without his agreement. He stared at me. He asked if I was giving him an ultimatum. I said I was telling him the truth. He walked out of the bedroom. I heard him go downstairs. I heard the guest room door close. I lay in bed alone and felt powerful. I felt like I was finally taking control of my life. I felt like I was finally being honest about what I wanted. I did not think about what Nathan was feeling. I did not think about what this would do to Mira. I did not think about the consequences. I just thought about myself. That was the problem. That was always the problem. The next morning, I came downstairs to find Nathan in the kitchen. He was making coffee. His laptop was open on the counter. When I walked in, he minimized the screen quickly, but I saw a glimpse of what was on it. A web page with the word legal in the header. He closed the laptop completely before I could see more. I asked what he was looking at. He said it was nothing. I asked if he was researching lawyers. He said he was researching a lot of things. I asked what that meant. He said it meant he was educating himself. I poured myself coffee. I asked if he had thought about what I said last night. He said he had thought about nothing else. I asked what his answer was. He said his answer was no. I felt my chest tighten. I asked why. He said because what I was proposing was not a relationship, it was exploitation. I told him he was being dramatic. He said I was asking him to stay faithful while I explored other options. He said that was not equality. I said equality did not mean everything had to be exactly the same. He said it meant both people had to agree to the arrangement. I said I was not going to argue about semantics. He said this was not about semantics. This was about respect. He said if I wanted to see other people, that was my choice, but he would not stay married to me while I did it. I asked if he was threatening to divorce me. He said he was stating a boundary. I told him he was being unreasonable. He said I was being selfish. I said I was being honest about my needs. He said my needs were destroying our family. I said our family would be fine. He said Mira would not be fine. I told him not to use our daughter against me. His phone lit up on the counter. I saw a notification. It said, Maple Street, 3:15 p.m. He picked up the phone immediately and dismissed it. I asked what that was. He said it was a personal errand. I asked what kind of errand. He said the kind that was none of my business. I asked if he was hiding something from me. He said I should worry about my own choices. I said his choices affected me. He said my choices affected him too. I said that was different. He asked how. I could not answer. He picked up his laptop and went upstairs. I stood in the kitchen alone. I felt angry. I felt like he was being controlling. I felt like he was trying to punish me for being honest. I did not think about the fact that I had just asked him to accept something most people would never accept. I did not think about the fact that I was prioritizing my desires over his feelings. I did not think about the fact that I was willing to destroy our marriage to get what I wanted. I just thought about how unfair he was being. I just thought about how he did not understand me. I just thought about myself. That afternoon, I texted my best friend Sloane. I asked if she was free to talk. She said she had an hour before her next client meeting. We met at the office. The office was in a converted warehouse downtown. Sloane and I had started the event planning business together 3 years earlier. We specialized in weddings. The walls were covered with photos of happy couples. Sometimes I looked at those photos and wondered if any of them were still happy. Sloane was at her desk when I walked in. She looked up and smiled. She asked how I was. I said I was okay. She said I did not look okay. I sat down across from her. I told her Nathan and I had a big fight. She asked what about. I said I asked him if we could open our relationship and he refused. Her eyebrows went up. She asked what I meant by open. I explained that I wanted the freedom to see other people. She asked if I wanted him to see other people too. I said I thought it was better if he focused on stability for Mira. Sloane tilted her head. She asked if Nathan agreed to that. I said no. She asked what he said. I said he said he would not agree to it. Sloane leaned back in her chair. She said that was a tough situation. I said Nathan was being closed-minded. She asked if I thought he was being controlling. I said yes. I said he had always been a little traditional and repressive. She nodded slowly. I told her Nathan did not understand that I needed more than what he could offer. I said I felt trapped. I said I felt like I never got to explore who I really was. Sloane said she understood. She said a lot of women felt that way. I asked if she thought I was wrong for wanting this. She said she thought I deserved to be happy. I said Nathan made it sound like I was asking for something terrible. She said society had a lot of outdated ideas about relationships. I felt validated. I felt understood. I did not tell Sloane that I had demanded Nathan remain faithful while I saw other people. I did not tell her that Nathan had clearly stated his boundary, and I was planning to ignore it. I just told her the parts that made me look like the victim. That evening, I went to the gym. I had been going 3 times a week for the past month. I told myself it was about fitness, but really it was about Des. Des was a personal trainer. He was 28 and had dark hair and the kind of smile that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. He had been flirting with me for weeks. I had been flirting back. After my workout, I went to the locker room. I was putting my things in my bag when Des appeared in the hallway outside. He said he wanted to congratulate me on my progress. I said thank you. He said I was one of his most dedicated clients, even though I was not officially his client. He asked if I had ever thought about personal training. I said I had thought about it. He said he could give me a free consultation. I said that sounded nice. He said we could grab coffee first and talk about my goals. I knew what he was doing. He was asking me out, and I knew I should say no. Nathan had made his position clear. We were not opening our relationship, but I said yes anyway. Des smiled. He said he was free Saturday afternoon. I said Saturday worked. He said he would text me. I gave him my number. He saved it in his phone and said he was looking forward to it. I drove home feeling electric. I felt wanted. I felt desired. I felt like someone saw me as more than just a wife and a mother. Nathan was in the living room reading to Mira when I got home. She was curled up next to him with her favorite stuffed rabbit. He looked up when I walked in. His expression was unreadable. He asked how the gym was. I said it was good. He nodded and went back to reading. On the coffee table, I saw a thin binder I had never seen before. It was labeled household. I asked what it was. Nathan said it was organizational paperwork. I asked what kind of paperwork. He said bills and insurance documents. I reached for it. He put his hand on it first. He said he would show me later. He picked up the binder and took it with him when he put Mira to bed. I sat on the couch and felt uneasy. After Mira was asleep, Nathan did not come back downstairs. I went up to check on him. He was in the guest room. The door was closed. I knocked. He said he was going to sleep in there for a while. I asked why. He said he needed space. I asked how long. He said he did not know. I went to our bedroom alone. I lay in bed and thought about Des. I thought about coffee on Saturday. I thought about how good it felt to be seen. I did not think about Nathan lying alone in the guest room. I did not think about Mira asking why Daddy looked sad. I did not think about the binder labeled household or what might be inside it. I just thought about Saturday. I fell asleep with my phone next to me, waiting for Des to text. He texted at midnight. He said he was looking forward to Saturday. He said he'd been thinking about me. I stared at the message. Then I typed back that I had been thinking about him too. I put the phone down and closed my eyes. I felt powerful. I felt in control. I felt like I was finally living my life. I did not know that everything was about to fall apart. Saturday afternoon, I told Nathan I was meeting Sloan for coffee. He asked where. I said downtown. He asked what time I would be home. I said I did not know. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he said, okay. I drove to the Riverside embankment where I was meeting Des. It was warm and sunny. There were families walking along the path and couples sitting on benches. I found Des waiting at an outdoor cafe table. He stood up when he saw me. He hugged me. It lasted 2 seconds too long. We sat down and ordered coffee. He asked how my week was. I said it was complicated. He asked if I wanted to talk about it. I said maybe later. We talked for 2 hours. He told me about growing up in California. He told me about playing football in high school and how an injury ended his scholarship. He told me about becoming a trainer because he wanted to help people feel strong. I told him about my business. I told him about planning weddings and how sometimes I felt jealous of the brides. He asked why. I said because they looked so happy and hopeful. He said I looked happy. I said I did not feel happy. He asked if I was happy in my marriage. I hesitated. Then I said it was complicated. He asked if my husband knew I was here. I said yes. It was a lie, but it came out easily. Des reached across the table and touched my hand. He said I deserved to feel appreciated. I said thank you. He said he appreciated me. I felt my face get warm. A jogger ran past our table. She glanced at us and then did a double take. I recognized her. She was a parent from Mira's preschool. Her name was Jennifer. She slowed down and stared. Then she kept running. I felt a spike of anxiety, but I told myself it was fine. I was just having coffee with a friend. There was nothing wrong with that. Des asked if I knew her. I said she looked familiar. He asked if I wanted to go somewhere more private. I said I should probably get home. He said he understood. He walked me to my car. He kissed me on the cheek. His lips lingered. I did not pull away. He said he wanted to see me again. I said I would like that. He said he would text me. I drove away feeling guilty and excited at the same time. When I got home, Nathan was in the garage. He was working on something at his workbench. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing. I said it looked like he was avoiding me. He said maybe he was. I asked if we could talk. He said there was nothing to talk about. I said we could not just ignore each other forever. He said I made my position clear, and he made his. I asked what happened now. He said that was up to me. That night, Sloane texted asking if I wanted to go to a networking event on Friday. She said it was at a rooftop bar downtown. She said I could bring someone if I wanted. I asked if I could bring a friend. She said sure. I texted Des and asked if he wanted to come. He said he would love to. I felt a thrill. I knew it was wrong. I knew Nathan had said no, but I did it anyway. Friday night, I told Nathan I was going to a work event. He asked if I needed him to stay home with Mira. I said yes. He said fine. He did not ask any other questions. He barely looked at me. I wore a black dress and did my makeup carefully. I wanted to look good. I wanted Des to see me as more than just someone in gym clothes. The rooftop bar was crowded. Sloane was already there with a group of people from the industry. I introduced Des as a friend. Sloane gave me a knowing look but did not say anything. We had been there about an hour when I saw Ryan. He was Nathan's best friend and colleague. They taught at the same high school. Ryan was with his wife Claire. His face registered shock when he saw me. He walked over. He asked how I was. I said I was good. He looked at Des. I introduced them. Ryan asked how we knew each other. I said Des was a trainer at my gym. Ryan asked if Nathan was here. I said no. Ryan asked if Nathan knew I was here with Des. I said of course he did. Ryan's expression said he did not believe me. He asked if I had a minute to talk. I said I was busy. He said it was important. I excused myself and followed him to the edge of the rooftop. Ryan asked what I was doing. I said I was networking. He said it looked like I was on a date. I said I was allowed to have friends. He said Des did not look like just a friend. I told Ryan to mind his own business. Ryan said Nathan was his best friend, and he looked miserable lately. I said that was not my fault. Ryan said it looked like it was exactly my fault. I said Ryan did not know what he was talking about. He said he knew enough. I walked away. I rejoined Des and Sloane. Sloane asked if everything was okay. I said Ryan was being dramatic. She said he looked upset. I said he was always overprotective of Nathan. Someone suggested taking a group photo. Everyone gathered near the railing. Des stood next to me. His arm went around my waist. I leaned into him. I saw Ryan across the crowd. He was holding up his phone. I thought he was taking a photo. Later, I would find out he was recording a video. I got home after midnight. Nathan was on the couch with his laptop. He looked up when I walked in. He asked how the event was. I said it was fine. He said Ryan texted him. I felt my stomach drop. Nathan said Ryan saw me at the bar with another man. I said I was with a group of people. Nathan asked who the man was. I said he was just a friend. Nathan asked if it was the same friend I had coffee with on Saturday. I asked how he knew about that. He said Jennifer from Mira's preschool mentioned seeing me. I said there was nothing going on. Nathan said it did not look like nothing. I said he was being paranoid. He said he was being observant. I said he was being controlling. He said I was being dishonest. I went upstairs. Nathan stayed on the couch. I heard him typing for a long time. I checked my phone. Des had texted saying he had a great time. I replied that I did too. I put the phone under my pillow and tried to sleep. I lay in the dark and thought about Ryan's face. I thought about Jennifer jogging past the cafe. I thought about Nathan sitting on the couch with his laptop. I thought about the spreadsheet I had glimpsed on his screen days earlier, the one with columns labeled date and location and witness. I told myself I was overreacting. I told myself Nathan was bluffing. I told myself everything would be fine. I was wrong about all of it. Sunday was Gordon's birthday. Nathan's father was turning 64. He wanted the whole family to have lunch together at a restaurant downtown. Nathan said we were expected. I said I did not want to go. He said Mira needed to see her grandfather. I said I would drop her off. Nathan said we were going together. The restaurant had a private room in the back. When we arrived, everyone was already there. Gordon was at the head of the table. Nathan's aunt and uncle were there. Vivienne, my mother, was there. Celeste, my sister, was there with her fiancé. It felt like an ambush. Gordon stood when we walked in. He hugged Mira and told her she was getting so big. Then he looked at me. He said hello. I said hello back. The room felt cold. We sat down. Mira sat between Nathan and me. I could feel everyone watching. Celeste asked how I was. I said I was fine. She said I looked tired. I said work had been busy. Gordon cleared his throat. He said he wanted to thank everyone for coming. He said family was the most important thing in life. He said he was grateful to have such a strong family. The emphasis on strong felt pointed. He looked at Nathan. He said he was proud of Nathan for being a good father and a good man. He said Nathan had been handling a difficult situation with grace. I felt my face get hot. I asked what difficult situation. Gordon said someone told him they saw me having coffee with a man who was not my husband. I asked who told him that. He said it did not matter who told him. He asked if it was true. I said I was allowed to have friends. Gordon said of course I was allowed to have friends. He said it did not look like friendship from what he heard. I asked what that meant. He said it meant people were talking. Vivienne spoke up. She said Gordon should not ambush me like this. Gordon said he was not ambushing anyone. He said he was asking an honest question. Vivienne said it was not appropriate with Mira here. Mira looked up at the sound of her name. She asked if everyone was mad. Nathan said no one was mad. He said the grown-ups were just talking. Gordon said he was not mad. He was disappointed. He looked directly at me. He said Nathan was a good husband. He said Nathan worked hard and provided for his family. He said Nathan deserved respect. I said I respected Nathan. Gordon said my actions did not show it. Celeste tried to change the subject. She started talking about her wedding plans. But the tension remained. After lunch, Nathan said he needed to pick up some things from the house. I asked what things. He said clothes and files. I asked why. He said because he was staying with Ryan for a while. We drove home in silence. Mira fell asleep in her car seat. When we got home, Nathan went straight to our bedroom. He started packing a duffel bag. I followed him. I asked how long he was planning to stay at Ryan's. He said he did not know. I asked if he was leaving me. He said he was giving himself space to think. I said that was not fair. He said nothing about this was fair. He went to the guest room. He had been sleeping there for 2 weeks, but most of his things were still in our room. He started packing them now. I stood in the doorway and watched. I asked if he was really going to throw away our marriage over this. He said I was the one throwing it away. I said I just wanted some freedom. He said I wanted freedom without consequences. I said consequences were just society's way of controlling women. He looked at me like I was a stranger. He carried a box down the stairs. I followed him. He put the box in his car. His phone rang. The caller ID said, private. He answered. He said, yes, I can be there Tuesday at 2. He said, thank you. He hung up. I demanded to know who that was. He said it was none of my concern. I said everything he did was my concern. He said that was no longer true. I asked what that meant. He said it meant I had made my choice and now he was making his. He got in his car. I stood in the driveway and watched him drive away. Mira was standing in the window watching too. I went inside and picked her up. She asked where Daddy was going. I said Daddy had to go help Uncle Ryan with something. She asked when he was coming back. I said soon. She asked if Mommy and Daddy were fighting. I said no. She said it felt like we were fighting. I said everything was fine. She looked at me with those big eyes that saw everything. She said it did not feel fine. That night I called Sloane. I told her Nathan moved out. She asked why. I said because he could not handle me having male friends. She said that sounded controlling. I agreed. I said I was starting to think I married the wrong person. Sloane asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. She said I did not sound fine. I said I just needed time to figure things out. I hung up and sat on the couch. The house was too quiet. I checked my phone. Des had texted asking how my weekend was. I replied that it was complicated. He said he was there if I needed to talk. I said thank you. I looked around the empty living room. I thought about Nathan packing his things. I thought about Mira asking when Daddy was coming back. I thought about Gordon saying I did not show respect. I told myself they were all wrong. I told myself I was the victim. I told myself Nathan was overreacting, but deep down I knew the truth. I just was not ready to admit it yet. Wednesday afternoon, I went to the pharmacy to pick up Mira's prescription for her allergies. I was waiting in line when someone said my name. I turned. Vivian was standing behind me. She asked if we could talk. I said I was busy. She said it would only take a minute. I said fine. We stepped outside. She asked how I was really doing. I said I was fine. She said Nathan called her. I felt my chest tighten. I asked what he wanted. She said he wanted to give her his side of the story. I asked what he told her. She said he told her I demanded an open relationship where only I could see other people. She said he told her he refused and I proceeded anyway. She said he told her I met someone from the gym and had been seeing him despite his clear boundary. I said Nathan was exaggerating. Vivienne asked which part was exaggerated. I said all of it. She asked if I asked for an open relationship. I said yes, but not the way Nathan described it. She asked how I described it. I could not find the words. Vivian said she talked to Gordon too. She said Gordon told her about the coffee shop sighting. She said she talked to Celeste, and Celeste mentioned that Ryan told his wife about seeing me at a bar with another man. She asked me directly if I was having an affair. I said no. She asked if I was seeing someone. I said I was exploring my options. She asked if Nathan agreed to that. I said Nathan was too traditional to understand modern relationships. Vivian looked at me like she did not recognize me. She asked when I became this person. I asked what person. She said a person who did not care about anyone but herself. I said that was not fair. She said life was not fair. She said she raised me better than this. I said she got divorced when I was 12, so maybe she was not the best person to lecture me about relationships. Her face went pale. She said that was cruel. I said I was just being honest. She said there was a difference between honesty and cruelty. She walked away. I stood in the parking lot alone. I felt angry. I felt misunderstood. I felt like everyone was against me. I drove home. The house was empty. Mira was with Nathan. He had her on his custody days now. We had worked out an informal schedule. I got her Mondays and Wednesdays. He got her the rest of the time. I told myself it was temporary. That evening, Nathan came by to pick up more of his things. I was on the balcony when he arrived. He joined me without saying hello. I asked how Mira was. He said she was fine. I asked if she asked about me. He said she asked about me constantly. I asked when this was going to end. He asked what I meant. I said, when were we going to stop pretending and fix this? He said there was nothing to fix. I said we could go to counseling. He said I did not want to fix our marriage. I wanted permission to destroy it. I asked what his plan was. He said his plan was to handle everything properly and legally. I asked what that meant. He said it meant I would find out soon. His phone was on the balcony railing. It buzzed. I saw a notification. It said Archive A, upload complete. He picked it up before I could see more. I asked if he was compiling evidence against me. He said he was protecting himself and his daughter. I said I was Mira's mother. He said that remained to be seen. I asked what he meant. He said a judge would decide what kind of mother I was. I felt cold. I asked if he was threatening me. He said he was informing me. I said I had rights. He said so did he. I said I would fight him. He said he was counting on it. He went inside and packed another box. He took a folder from his desk labeled Bank. He took another labeled Auto. He took a thin binder labeled Utilities that looked much thicker than utility bills. I asked what was in those. He said documentation. I asked of what. He said of everything. I asked if I could see. He said no. I asked why not. He said because it was for the court. I felt panic rising. I asked if he really filed for divorce. He said he would answer that question through his attorney. I asked if he had an attorney. He said I should assume he had everything he needed. He carried the boxes to his car. I followed him. I asked what I was supposed to tell Mira. He said I should tell her the truth for once. I asked what truth. He said the truth that Mommy decided her wants were more important than her family. He drove away. I stood in the driveway. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Celeste. She asked if I was okay. She said she heard Nathan and I were having problems. She said her wedding was in 2 weeks, and she hoped we could be civil for that one day. I replied that I would be fine. I did not tell her that I was falling apart. I did not tell her that I had destroyed my marriage. I did not tell her that Nathan was building a legal case against me. I went inside and poured a glass of wine. I sat on the couch and thought about the notification. Archive A, upload complete. I thought about the folders Nathan had taken. I thought about him saying everything was for the court. I called Sloane. She did not answer. I called Des. He answered. I asked if I could see him. He asked when. I said now. He hesitated. He said he was not sure that was a good idea. I asked why not. He said things seemed complicated with my husband. I said Nathan and I were basically separated. Des said basically was not the same as actually. I said I thought he wanted to see me. He said he did, but not like this. He said he did not want to be in the middle of something messy. I hung up. I felt abandoned. I felt alone. I felt like everyone was turning against me. I finished the wine and poured another glass. I thought about how I'd gotten here. I thought about the conversation in the bedroom weeks ago. I thought about Nathan's face when I told him I wanted to see other people, but expected him to stay faithful. I thought about how I had called him traditional and repressive and controlling. I thought about how I had told everyone he was the problem. I thought about how I had been lying to myself. I fell asleep on the couch. When I woke up, it was 3 a.m. The house was dark and cold. I went upstairs to the empty bedroom. I lay in the bed Nathan used to share with me. I thought about Tuesday at 2. I thought about what Nathan was planning. I thought about the court he kept mentioning. I thought about how I had spent weeks feeling powerful and in control. I thought about how I was about to lose everything. I closed my eyes and waited for Saturday. I waited for Celeste's wedding. I waited for whatever came next. Saturday morning, I woke up early. Celeste's wedding was at 3. I was a bridesmaid. I had a hair appointment at 10, and then I needed to get to the venue by 1 for photos. I tried to call Nathan to ask what time he was bringing Mira. He did not answer. He texted back that Mira would be at the wedding with him. He said he had her this weekend per our schedule. I said I wanted her to get ready with me. He said that was not possible. I felt frustration rising, but I did not have time to argue. I got ready and drove to the salon. Celeste was already there with her bridesmaids. She hugged me, and said she was so happy I was there. I said I would not miss it. She said she knew things were hard with Nathan right now. I said everything was fine. The ceremony was at a community center with a large hall. The space was decorated with white flowers and strings of lights. 200 people were expected. It was the biggest wedding Celeste had ever dreamed of. I stood at the front with the other bridesmaids during the ceremony. I saw Nathan in the crowd. He was holding Mira's hand. She waved at me. I waved back. Nathan did not look at me. After the ceremony, everyone moved to the reception area. There was a bar and a dance floor and long tables covered with white cloths. I got a glass of champagne and held my bouquet. People congratulated Celeste. I smiled and made small talk. Sloane was there as my +1. She asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. She said Nathan kept looking at me. I said he was probably just checking on Mira. She said it did not look like that. I told her not to worry about it. The toast began. Celeste's father spoke. The maid of honor spoke. Everyone laughed and cried. I drank more champagne. Then the DJ announced the first dance. Celeste and her new husband took the floor. Everyone watched. The music was soft and romantic. I felt a pang in my chest. I remembered my own wedding. I remembered dancing with Nathan. I remembered feeling like we would be happy forever. I was watching the dance when someone touched my arm. I turned. A man in a grey suit was standing next to me. He asked if I was Ondine Merrick. I said yes. He handed me a large envelope. He said I had been served. The music kept playing, but several people near me stopped moving. They turned to look. I stared at the envelope. I asked what this was. The man said it was legal documentation. Then he walked away. I opened the envelope with shaking hands. The first page said, "Petition for dissolution of marriage with emergency temporary orders." I read the first lines. Nathan Merrick, petitioner. Ondine Merrick, respondent, filed in Superior Court. I felt my vision blur. I flipped through the pages. There were exhibits attached. Exhibit A was a transcript of the conversation in our bedroom. Nathan had recorded it. I read my own words. I want the freedom to see other people while maintaining our marriage. I think it would be better if you stayed focused on our family. I am not asking permission. I am informing you of what I need. Exhibit B was a photograph of Des and me at the cafe by the river. Jennifer, the preschool parent, had taken it and sent it to Nathan. Exhibit C was a video from the rooftop bar. Ryan had recorded it. Des's arm around my waist, me leaning into him. Nathan nowhere near us. Exhibit D was a series of witness statements. Ryan described what he saw. Jennifer described what she saw. Gordon described what he heard. Even Sloane had been contacted. She told the investigator that I said Nathan was controlling and would not let me have male friends. But the transcript of the bedroom recording proved I was the one who made the unilateral demand. I kept reading. There was a section on parenting. It detailed the nights I left Mira with Nathan to meet Des. It detailed the times Mira asked why Mommy was not home. It detailed the conversation where Mira told Nathan she did not like when Mommy and Daddy fought. I read the emergency orders. Nathan Merrick is granted temporary sole physical custody of the minor child pending a full evaluation. Ondine Merrick is granted supervised visitation twice per week for 2 hours each. Joint accounts are frozen. Ondine Merrick is prohibited from making disparaging public statements about Nathan Merrick. I looked up. People were staring. Celeste had stopped dancing. She was looking at me from across the room. Vivienne was standing near the bar with her hand over her mouth. A second man approached. He handed me another envelope. He said this was a notice of court-ordered psychological evaluation for Mira. He said both parents would be interviewed. He said the evaluation would assess the impact of parental conflict on the child. Then he walked away. I stood in the middle of the reception hall holding 2 envelopes and a bouquet. My phone buzzed. I looked down. It was a text from Des. It said, "Nathan's lawyer contacted me. I told them the truth. I told them we met for coffee, and you said you had an understanding with Nathan, but I suspected you did not. I told them I backed off when I realized you were lying. I am sorry. I felt like I was going to be sick. I looked around for somewhere to go. Celeste was walking toward me. She was still in her wedding dress. She looked like she might cry. She asked what was happening. I said Nathan served me with divorce papers. She asked why he did it here. I said I did not know. She said this was her wedding day. I said I was sorry. She said I needed to leave. I asked if she was serious. She said yes. She said I could not stay here with everyone staring. She said this was supposed to be the happiest day of her life, and now it was ruined. I said it was not my fault. She asked whose fault it was then. I looked across the room. Nathan was standing near the exit with Mira. He was buckling her sweater. He was getting ready to leave. Mira saw me and waved. I waved back. Nathan took her hand and walked out. Vivian approached. She had been reading the papers over my shoulder. She was crying. She asked if it was true. I asked what. She said all of it. I said it was complicated. She said it looked very simple to her. She walked away. She walked toward Gordon. They spoke briefly. Then they both looked at me. Gordon shook his head. I felt everyone watching. I felt 200 pairs of eyes on me. The DJ started the music again, but no one danced. Everyone just stared. Sloane appeared next to me. She said we should go. I asked if she read the papers. She said she saw enough. I asked if she was on my side. She said she did not think there were sides anymore. I asked what that meant. She said it meant I lied to everyone, including her. I walked toward the exit. People moved out of my way. No one spoke to me. No one touched me. I was invisible. I got to my car and sat in the driver's seat. I looked at the papers again. I read every word, every exhibit, every witness statement, every emergency order. I read the part about supervised visitation. I would see my daughter 4 hours a week with a court-appointed supervisor present. I read the part about the psychological evaluation. A stranger would interview me and Nathan and Mira and decide what was best for her. I read the part about the frozen accounts. I had no access to money until the court divided the assets. I read the part about the non-disparagement clause. I could not post anything negative about Nathan on social media or tell anyone he was controlling or abusive. I thought about how I had spent weeks telling everyone Nathan was the problem. I thought about how I had framed myself as the victim. I thought about how I had believed my own lies. I started the car. I did not know where to go. I could not go home. The house felt empty without Mira. I could not go to my mother. She had seen the papers. I could not go to Sloane. She had backed away. I drove to a park and sat on a bench. I called Des. He did not answer. I called again. He declined the call. I texted him. He did not respond. I called Nathan. He answered. I asked if we could talk. He said we could talk through our attorneys. I asked if he had an attorney. He said yes. I asked who. He said I would receive that information in the next few days. I asked if he really thought I was a bad mother. He said a judge would decide. I asked if he was trying to take Mira away from me. He said he was trying to protect her. I asked from what? He said from instability and chaos. I asked if there was any way to fix this. He said I should have thought about that before I demanded the right to cheat. I said I did not cheat. He said I met with another man repeatedly, after he clearly refused my proposal. He said I lied to him, and to our families, and to myself. He said he had been documenting everything from the moment I made my demand. He said he knew I would not stop. He said he knew I would frame him as the villain. He said he protected himself. I asked if he still loved me. He said he loved the person I used to be. I asked if we could go back. He said there was no going back. I asked what happened now. He said now we went to court. He hung up. I sat on the bench until the sun went down. Then I drove to a motel and checked in. I lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling. I thought about Celeste's face when she told me to leave. I thought about Vivian crying. I thought about Gordon shaking his head. I thought about Sloane backing away. I thought about Mira waving at me from across the reception hall. I thought about how I only got to see her 4 hours a week now. I thought about how a stranger would decide if I was fit to be her mother. I thought about how I had demanded freedom without consequences. I thought about how I had called Nathan controlling when he simply stated his boundary. I thought about how I had told everyone he was the problem. I thought about how I'd been so convinced I was right. I thought about how I had believed my needs justified everything. I thought about how wrong I had been. I closed my eyes, but I could not sleep. I just lay there thinking about everything I had lost. My marriage, my daughter, my family, my reputation, my dignity. I thought about the court date in 30 days. I thought about standing in front of a judge and explaining why I deserved custody. I thought about the psychological evaluation and what Mira would say. I thought about how Nathan had been quiet and methodical and patient. I thought about how he had documented everything. I thought about how he had protected himself and Mira while I destroyed everything. I thought about how I had no one to blame but myself. I lay in the dark motel room alone, exactly where I deserved to be. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next story. Write in the comments from which city you are watching.